So Aaron works for Brookstone, helping advisors all around the country when it comes to delivering information to their clients. All right, so that was the update from Mark Diorio. Instead of flying him in, I had him do a little update. He has lots of graphs. I like the idea is there are ways that the market can be positive and can grow. And he tried to tell us what can fuel the market growth over the next few years and where to allocate money. Our previous hour in the Financial Forum, we really talked about with Bernie and Alex about the portfolios we do to try to build that out. And what the portfolios at Brookstone, they have things like tax aware, they have things like the dividend portfolio, growth portfolio, value portfolio. These are where we're actually able to implement these kind of investment ideas. So what we're going to do now is we're going to invite some people up to the stage as we continue our talk. I'll invite Paul Franco back up. J. Paul, J stands for Joseph, but he goes by Paul Franco. He's been around since 2017, I think. And then he finished his MBA, and he's been a financial advisor the last few years. He's a co-host on a radio show. He did the tax talk, and he talked a little bit. We're going to have some basic topics, Paul. We're also going to invite Nick back up on stage. Nick Militi is our newest advisor. Nick came over from TIAA-CREF most recently, one of their advisors for retirement planning and investment advice for the people on the high end at TIAA-CREF around the state of Maryland. He's also with JP Morgan and a few other banks before that. So what we're going to be talking about is some planning and just our thoughts. So what I want to do is go over the basic idea of Akers Financial Group. What we like to do is have a process, and our process, the Akers Way, I guess you could call it, is we begin with a financial fingerprint. Each and every time we meet with you, we like to know where you are. That is your moment in time, what's going on in your life. Financial fingerprint, you're unique, different than everybody else. So we need to gather that information and then listen to your goals and your dreams to then build a plan so that we can advise and educate you on all the ideas that we have. Financial Forum is for us to throw ideas at you about all the things we're doing with our clients right now based on the tax law changing, stock market movements, everything that's going on this year. There's been a lot of going on. And basically through the advice and education, we lead to implementation and ultimately leads you financially to where you win in retirement through the idea of true independence, true financial independence, where you don't need your job, you work your job because you want to. And that's how we try to develop our process at Akers Financial Group. A real life farm to table is my inside joke a little bit, but it is a fundamental core thought in that we're building a herd of cows that we're going to milk for retirement years. Now you can have the biggest cows ever if you want, and then we just milk them whatever way you like. And then you decide where you want your cows to go when it's needed.
Do you name the cows, Brian?
Do we name the cows? Milk cows, we do name the milk cows. We don't name the steers that you use for a hamburger. That was my cousin. My vacations during my childhood was on a farm. I wake up at 4:30, help milk cows. And then I go do some farm work for a while with them. Then afternoons, I go herd the cattle in for the afternoon milking. So that was a highlight, actually. So this cash cow thing, I learned it very early in life. I used to do it with projectors, or I put a cow up. And then Jeff makes fun of me where I used to draw my own cows, but I didn't do that for today. You'd be laughing too much. So the basic concept is building a portfolio that's diversified and having multiple cows. All right, so Paul, diversification, is that something that still works? Is that something we still do? Or do we put all the money in like S&P 500? What really is our answer?
Yeah, it's a great question, Brian. I think diversification is key. Diversification is what allows us to spread out the risk so that when we see volatile markets and there's negativity in one sector or another, we diversify the risk so that it doesn't affect our client's ability to retire. And so diversification is a critical point in anybody's portfolio. You'd hear the idea of concentration versus diversification. We are firm believers in diversifying your assets.
Yeah, so there's a Bible verse that I like. It's in Ecclesiastes 11:3. It says you divide your earthly wares 7 to 8 times, and that actually helps you avoid calamity. And so like right now at 4 o'clock, Noah's speaking about faithful finance using the Bible to guide. What we try to do with Akers Financial Group is we take some beliefs that we have and some responsibility we think them with money and apply it to our planning and our thoughts and how we work with things. Diversification is a key thing. Now, some people have called it diversification when one thing does well. Like, oh, I should have bought the S&P, Brian. I should have bought that instead of what you did for me. And we hear that, and the answer is, if I go backwards, I can always pick better. I can always pick better. But imagine you're retired. You're in the S&P 500. You saw the charts of Mark Diorio. There was a negative decade, 2000 to 2009, a negative S&P decade. People don't talk about that, especially if they're saying S&P only. During that S&P decade, our clients did very, very well because of diversification. Now, the idea of a portfolio is to allocate what portion you should to stocks, not all of your money to stocks. That's all very, very important. We also, as you retire, we want to match your risk to your income goal. Match your risk to your income goal. The more income you need, the lower risk you should have. We try to build portfolios that way. In the last few years, like what Mark Diorio showed, is the market's doubled the last 5 years. Most people might be happy with the investments they have, and people that do it on their own might be very ecstatic that they're brilliant, they doubled their money. Well, the market went up. Everybody's money went up. But the key thing is that when the storms start coming, the worst case scenarios happen, how's your money going to do at that time? And I believe portfolio managers, advisors, planning and guiding you is why we have a job. Now, what's great with technology, you can go out there and do it all on your own if you want to, but advisors, if you choose to let us be your advisor, we can add a lot of advice and a lot of help to maximize your money over time. Now, this matching the risk to income need, Paul, what's your ideas on that? How do you do that?
Yeah, I was gonna mention the idea of what a lot of people come to us about. They come and say, "Hey, we want to retire," and the difficult part is a lot of those individuals have worked so hard to build their assets up, but understanding that that changes when you retire. Now you're drawing income from the nest egg that you worked so hard to build up. And so the way you invest money, the risk that you take when you're trying to draw income from a portfolio needs to change. What a lot of people do is they say, oh, well, I have money in a target date fund, or I have money in the S&P 500. I'm just going to set up systematic withdrawals from my investments. And that's sort of what they always thought. Well, I'm just going to draw 4% off my portfolio. Well, what happens is when the market's down and you've taken too much risk with that money, then ultimately you're never going to make that money back up. You took the income when the market was down. So what we try to do in our planning, one of our Akers core thoughts is we love to have our income come from protected sources, meaning the income, the risk that we want to have with our income is zero, meaning that income needs to be there to last us the rest of our life. And that's even in the portfolios that we design is we build out cash to be able to cover 12 months to 24 months of distributions. And so that allows when the market has volatility, has downsides, it doesn't affect our client's ability to be able to collect that income.
And I just happen to call it milking the cow.
Yeah, that's the fun one.
Well, let's say I had this one guy come in and he's been taking withdrawals every week. And I'm saying, you're killing the cow. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, you're having hamburger. This cow is not going to last more than 3 years at this pace. And the hardest part is for people to live within their means. I believe in your 60s, early 70s, we need to live off of the portfolio in a general manner and not kill the cow. As we hit mid-70s and 80s, we can start taking more principal out over time. But it's all based on needs. I've also found in my career that we need a lot of money in those early retirement years because we're ready to run, ready to go, ready to see things. It all costs money. Then we sort of slow down later. Slowing down, you don't want to go. You just save the money. Sometimes your savings grows incredibly fast. You're not sure what to do with your money. And then in the final sort of phase of life, it's expensive medical care and taking care of each other. So the idea is having planning to handle all of this. Now, we call this a winning in retirement. So I'll go ahead and give the microphone to Nick, not mic to Nick.
It's on this time, right?
All right, so Nick's the newest advisor at Akers Financial Group. And with Nick, we're going to have a little talk about winning in retirement. I want you to explain it because you've been around since June. What's your definition of winning in retirement, Nick?
That's a loaded question.
I never told you this one before.
No, just throwing them at me. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think winning in retirement really is subjective. It's specific to your individual needs. But at the end of the day, as Brian has said in the past, you wake up and you choose your day. at that point, and you have financial peace of mind. And again, at the end of the day, you can go to sleep and you're not worried about really the fluctuations in the market. You understand that the market's going to do what the market does, and you have confidence and peace of mind that you have a financial plan to lean on. So if there are changes geopolitically or financially that occur in the world, it really doesn't impact you, because you can rely on your individual plan and say, you know what, we planned for this. Brian told me this was going to happen, or Nick told me this was going to happen, and I know that my income is still coming in. So when you implement and bake in those guarantees, when the world does what the world does, you have that plan to lean on, and that's what gives you that peace of mind and that confidence. So what is winning in retirement at the end of the day? It's confidence and peace of mind, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think winning in retirement is individual to each and every one of us. We were going to define it. It might be I'm leaving the RV tomorrow. It might be travel. It might be no travel. It might be backyard. It might be kids, grandkids. Whatever it is, it's your retirement. It's your winning in retirement. And what we want to do is have the money not be the worry. So imagine in decisions, there's emotional parts of decision and financial. So by supplying the financial side for our clients, then we can work with the emotional side and be able to handle the worst case scenarios of life. And so that's what good planning will do, is bring it all together for each and every one of us. Now, Nick comes from a retirement planning, a retirement investment type job where his goal is growing money, investing the money. Now, you had some planning in those firms, right?
Oh, absolutely, of course.
And did you have many clients that you helped with distribution, taking money out?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he worked with a lot of different styles of plans, and so the concepts in our job is to understand, while you're working, where's the best way to take your money? Where's the best way to save your money? The best way to grow your money? And so bringing this all together is very, very important, so you can have lots of choices as life changes. Now, all right, so we've been buzzing through this. So Nick, got a couple more things. Retirement planning. Our normal advice is about savings. If people are saving, your kids are saving, you tell them max the match at their work. They need to fund the Roth, usually through us. Max the company plan out, and then save with a purpose, save to save. And this all works in building a retirement income plan that'll help you win in your retirement years. So what I want to do is thank Nick and Paul for coming up. I have my final little talk here before we end with their big party at 5 o'clock. Thanks very much, Paul and Nick.
Thank you, everyone.
Good cheers with you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks. All right, so what we're going to do is we recommend, of course, a lot of you guys are clients already. So the idea of starting now is that if you're not a client, you should start with us now. You should begin learning what we do and how we apply it for your exact situation and help you reach your goals. Those that are clients, we want to meet with you 1 time a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, depending on what's going on, so that we can do that financial fingerprint each and every time and help implement the best ways. Now, Akers Financial Group, what I've tried to do over the years is this. So I've been doing this 38 years. I'm an advisor for 34 years. I created Akers Financial Group. I'm a founder of the company, and I built a company with my team. So I might have started it, but the we has made the company grow. The we has been my employees, my advisors, all working together with us very, very well over time. One of the key things is that we've had great clients for a long, long time. Some of my clients have been clients since I first got licensed back in 1991, 1992. Now, some of you know I was with another firm until 2006, and that's when I switched out and started Akers Financial Group. We started with Jeff Akers, myself, a lady named Teresa Karshner, who retired last year, and that's why some of our new hires were to replace her. Yes, we hired three to replace her. Thankfully, she's only working part-time. I would have to hire 5, but yeah, it's a long story there. All right, so Brian Akers he grew Akers Financial Group with my wonderful staff and people, and we've had a very blessed time of growth and very great time with our clients. So we enjoy working with you guys. And the hardest thing is I want to try to explain how we want to take our company from today to tomorrow, from sort of a Brian Akers being an advisor to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group, we've been building over the years financial advisors, financial teams. So businesses, for them to stay around, have to then be able to replace a founder, to get rid of a founder. And that the key thing to that is to have everyone in locking, basically moving in pace with the founder, with what the mindset is of planning. So our financial forum, our core thoughts, our core belief, every advisor I brought up here on our stage today, we're working together in the same manner to deliver the same type of advice. And they are excellent people. We are very blessed to have great advisors here at Akers Financial Group. Now, business continuity, you'll see that I have people all around my age. I'm 58 years old. Jeff's a little younger. I didn't say you're little, I said a little younger. And then I have a group of leadership team that are all around our age. And then we have a younger group. You saw Paul and Noah up here and Alex Monk. They're late 20s, early 30s. So we're trying to design a company that's going to last beyond the founder's generation, because I want to be a client of Akers Financial Group when I retire. Now, a dream would be for me to buy a Cracker Barrel restaurant, keep the chairs out front. I sit out there with you guys, the clients, and then we go in, say hi to the financial planners, and I still hang out at the office. But there's going to be a point in time where I shouldn't be your advisor. Hopefully that's way down the road, but someday. But I have to build a company because I'm a planner. I love planning. I like to be able to tell you that we have a plan, and we do have a plan. So continuity is where if something happened to Brian, what happens? Well, right now, Noah Akers would take over the company as the major shareholder, and then we have the advisors would all be in place to continue the way things are. There's documentations, all kinds of things set up for that to happen. Business succession is something that I don't want to see happen because I want to keep working. But in planning, like I tell everybody, you need a worst case scenario, right? And so you plan for that, and then you go live your life. And so the cool thing I wanted to try to explain to you is that we've had a great success in the company, but the future is even brighter and better because there's so many people to multiply our efforts. So on my bottom line here, it says founder as executive. So I am running the company. Kim Haight and I design all the marketing, from radio shows to emails to this event here. This took us about a year of planning. We write, we create all these things. That takes a lot of effort. Running the company and understanding how to manage the money takes lots of effort. I have the majority of clients still that work with me. And so we've created ways for us to work and deliver at a high pace for everyone to the future. And so what I want to try to do is explain that we have all these advisors from Jeff. Jeff was my assistant, became an advisor. Whoops, wrong button. And he took over a few hundred clients. He has about 400 clients working with Jeff currently. Sorry, I think that's on automatic or something. All right, so Jeff's an advisor. Alex Monk's an advisor. He was the assistant after Jeff, who then grew. Yep, it is automatic. All right, so I got to talk a little faster then. All right, so Alex Monk's an advisor who was an assistant, and Paul Franco became my assistant, moved up. Bernie McVeigh was never my assistant. He's always been brilliant, and always me and him have been advisors together. And then Noah Akers has been my team leader and assistant, and he's an advisor, but he still runs my team. This is my team. And then Nick, we started with him back in June. He's going to grow a team. Right now, Nick's by himself. Earlier today, he found a grasshopper outside. And did you keep him as a paraplanner? All right, so Team Brian. Team Brian is this. The design is that paraplanners and licensed advisors under the main advisor, so that when you're calling, you're emailing, someone's responding. If you know me, I'm terrible at emails. But if you call the office, we have a great ability to connect you to someone right away and to get you an answer right away. Emails are a lot slower. If you want an answer, I recommend calling. We're working on an email process because as the head of Akers Financial, you can imagine the 500 emails a day that I get. So in my team, Noah leads my team. Noah takes a lot of the phone calls. He hears and listens to you. He knows a lot of the answers. If he doesn't, he comes to me, finds me, gets the answer, comes right back to you. He's licensed as an advisor to do that. He's licensed in every way. Now, in my team is also paraplanners, Kara Kincaid and Samuel Huff. They are each taking classes and courses. That's all part of a paraplanner, growing their career, growing their knowledge and their legal ability to give advice to clients over the phone or in person. And that's part of our Akers training. We don't hire people and then throw them right out and start being an advisor without having some experience, or like in Nick's case, a lot of experience before we stamp them and say, yes, you're good. So up here you'll find that we have Team Brian, Team Jeff, Team Alex, Team Paul. Each of the advisors, as they've grown their practices, have grown to a certain level where Akers Financial can afford a paraplanner to be their assistant. Help them get ready for meetings, help them handle phone calls, help service calls, help with discussion items and paperwork. Because the Akers Way, we have a process. We write your financial fingerprint out. We call it discussion items. We go over that every meeting. We do tax analysis, all of that. So these teams, all right, so this is Brian. Here's the lovely photos of Brian. We got Sam. Sam Huff is our youngest one. Sam's maybe 24. This Sam Huff been with us 3 years now. 3 years. He's a new father, had his firstborn child August. Yep, and married a year ago. Kara Kincaid's not here today. She's having a medical issue for another month, so we're hoping to have her back soon. She's licensed in life insurance and focuses on term insurance and writing up paraplanning. And then Noah leads my team. The next team, Jeff, is him and Andy. Andy is a former teacher. He's going to be the leader of the band with him and his wife back here later at 5 o'clock. There's Andy right now. Andy, he retired as a teacher. Hey, why not take the CFP test? And he took the CFP test, passed everything, but he can't call himself a CFP unless he learns how to be a CFP. So a year and a half ago, we had a talk. I said, are you serious about this? You're already retired. Do you really want to be a financial planner? It's going to take a while. I'm not fast to getting people to be advisory. And so he's been Jeff's assistant, learning the business. And of course, he's a teacher, loves tests. He's passed every test thrown at him, fully licensed already in a year and a half. So he's a licensed advisor underneath Jeff. And we're going to unleash him to people in another year or so. Right, Andy? But tonight we're unleashing their group, Trish and Andy, their band. If you go around Harford County, you hear them a lot over on the weekends. But Jeff Akers, he's been an advisor, I would say, since 2005, 4, probably right. Yeah, when we started Akers Financial Group, there's only 5 of us, so Jeff had to do a lot of things. And we grew the company with my mother, my sister, my wife, and over time, we've brought in lots of other people. One of them was Alex Monk. Alex Monk was a paraplanner, and then he became part of our tax business, and because he's an accounting major from Towson, and then he actually was able to do extremely well with financial planning with our and a coast on the radio. And we have Sam Huff help him part-time, and Sam helps me part-time. And then Paul Franco, he was being a paraplanner, got his MBA, all the licenses just 3 or 4 years ago, and he's a full advisor, doing an incredible job with our clients. And then we have another guy, Darius Baycoat, former basketball player at Harvard Christian for me. He spent the last 4 summers as an intern. He got his 4-year degree back in May. And so we hired him as a financial planning assistant, but he's doing grad school in New York. He's grad school where he's getting his MBA, also helping coach the college basketball team and helping us in all the other spare time. And he's Paul's assistant, helping design and get things ready. So Darius Baycoat will be becoming an advisor probably in about a 2-year time span. And then there's Team Nick, well, by himself at the moment. Nick, what happens as his business practice grows, as more and more clients come under Nick, then we'll have built his team out. The idea of teams is this, is that none of us are going to be on an island at Akers Financial Group. It's not going to be where they work outside of the corporate concept. It's going to work where these teams are truly dedicated to a group of clients, working and helping them to answer their questions and guiding them. Ultimately, that means that there'll be multiple advisors that have license that you can talk to. You don't have to say, oh, I got to talk to Brian. You can say, oh, I'm happy to talk to Noah because he's fully licensed. I understand that he has like the Brian stamp of approval. My financial forum was to show you how talented my group is. We have great people. A point where when I do a succession plan, I can tell people that I trust everyone, I do. And so that means that as we build out and grow, like if I have to go to a meeting somewhere else and I need somebody to pinch hit, You're going to understand, oh, that's a great advisor. Let's see if he has any new ideas that Brian didn't thought of, because Brian's so old now. Those kind of thoughts. So the idea is this. How does Akers Financial run? Well, we have a leadership team. The leadership team is run by David Good as Chief Operating Officer. He runs our day-to-day. It's run by our controller and HR director, Kim Rice, been with us about 11 years. And our director of marketing and director of administration, and also my executive assistant with all of her many jobs is Kimberly Haight. She's been with us 15 years. And then Noah Akers as managing partner of the Daniel Allen Tax. This is the leadership group where I go to give all the crazy thoughts I have, to try to take my thoughts to implement. I love to be an advisor and not run the company, but I put my name on the company, and the company's going to run a certain way, so I need to do that, right? And so I have this balance I'm trying to work out of run the company, manage that, and work with all my clients. And so my goal in doing the financial forum is to make sure you guys understand our whole corporate setup. We're blessed with over 20-some people. We had 5 interns this summer, all wanting to be part of our system of developing and learning financial planning. So instead of growing like slowly, it's almost like you see bowling pins. They're starting to expand out in multiple ways, which is pretty exciting to see. So the leadership team, the team of advisors, we have great back office support. You probably know Caitlin. For 12 years, she's answered our phones and been able to get you checks. The operations team, our job is to take your big checks and deliver you income checks whenever you want. You bought something, you need money in your checking, you call us. We do need to hear from you. We can't just take an email. We'll send that money right to your bank. So we have operations, we have administration who does our scheduling. With Teresa retiring, we hired Patricia, we hired Ruth, and we have a new lady named Kate. And then Paula, of course, runs the reception area, and Kim Haight runs all of them. Reporting is Dave Good and a guy named Matthew, and they actually are working on Black Diamond. Today we had talks on Black Diamond. We've had some issues with Black Diamond and their reporting. With all the multi-factor problems with accounts, we're having a hard time getting downloads every day. Franklin was the most recent. Some of the annuities, we've had issues where Dave Good, I can tell you, is battling each and every one of those issues for us to get them up to date as much as possible. We're trying to do countermeasures to that, other opportunities to see your data altogether. I was in Atlanta Monday with Arcadius telling them my issues and that I needed something fixed, and I think they heard me. My hands are still on my side. I didn't do anything wrong. All right, so we built this team. This is all the team of full and part-time people, not the interns. You'll see there's a lot of people. We're blessed with great people. And I don't know how he's on the slide anymore. 6, 18. There's 21 on the slide. So the slide was redone 4 times this year already. I'm not sure how many more times it's going to go. We have an office in Lutherville that's been a satellite office. Over the next year, that's going to become more of a full-time office. Akers Financial Group Forest Hill, our lease runs out next September. There's a possibility we might move depending on what opportunities are out there in Harford County. So there's a lot of big things happening at Akers Financial Group. One of the core things is that you, the client, is our biggest asset that we have, is that we can work with you guys and help you. We love when you trust us as your advisor because then we can do everything we can for you. That's what we want to be, as your advisor. And we want to be that now into the future. Akers Financial Group is going to be built to stay beyond me and maybe beyond you. That's really what the design and the plan is in setting this up. In the last year, I've turned down being bought out by multiple corporations because I want to stay local, I want to stay independent, and I want to be able to have our firm stay and deliver at this level for as long as possible. So Akers Financial Group is built with the future in mind. We provide the kind of advice and implementation that we all need. I need this in my own retirement because I invest my money the same way you do. We want to make this money last throughout retirement and handle whatever comes. We've had, in the last 25 years, we handled 9/11, we had Enron, we had the mortgage crisis, we had COVID, all kinds of issues that affect our money. And the way we diversify our portfolios helped our clients survive and actually thrive throughout those times financially. And that's what the true goal of Akers Financial Group is financial planning, leads to good decisions, and helps you reach your goals. It doesn't, in anything I've said, say that our goal is trying to double or triple your money. Some firms, that's all they care about is taking the risk. and they measure themselves on, oh, we tripled your money fast. My thing is that that's wonderful that you double or triple your money, but is that really what you want out of your money? Money is so much more. If you ever listen to a radio show, if you missed our radio shows, we have hundreds of shows on all these topics. You can go to any podcast out there, Spotify, Apple, type in winning in retirement. You get hundreds of lists of topics that we do. Tomorrow is going to be a talk, Sam Payne and I, on Social Security. That's something that will be real interesting if you missed the first hour. All right, so we're flying through our time today. Next year, we're doing this on September 11th. It's going to be a September 11th. We're going to celebrate all the first responder clients that we have. We're going to have some charitable things that we can do at night for different, like towers, tunnels of towers, and a few others. We're going to add on for that Friday. It's the 25th year of the 9/11 event. It'll be next Friday next year. It'll be here at Water's Edge. The Financial Forum is something I think is the right thing to do. In your sheets, there's a comment page. If you want to comment, if you like the idea of us quickly moving through multiple topics, having all the speakers, and then we're going to have separate classes where we dive deeper into things like Roth IRAs and Social Security, RMDs, things like that. Thank you very much.